Go.
Tonight I have the privilege and the honor to pay tribute to a man that has helped me get to where I am in life today more than anyone else ever has. This person has always been someone to give me advice during important life issues, such as decisions I've had to make, problems I've faced, and most importantly, girls. This man has had my back in all circumstances and has always been someone that I can count on to be there for me, and know will be able to continue to count on to be there for me. His name is Antonio Coria, and he is my best friend. I know you all know Tony today, but a little history about him. Tony was born, he's Mexican, as you can know. That was more for the class. He was Mexican, and he was born into an unstable home. His dad was never much of a father figure, and didn't come around. Tony grew up in miscellaneous places around the Atlanta area with his mom and his brothers. While Tony was in elementary school, he was adopted into a family in Stockbridge, Georgia, and his mother agreed to that, and it is because of that adoption that I believe Tony and I never met. After a few years in public school, Tony's foster parents decided to put him in the private school that I attended, and after he failed 8th grade for the first time, Tony and I finally met. We didn't become best friends right off the bat. It wasn't until after I had a fallout with my best friend from elementary school that Tony and I really started to talk and hang out more. But soon enough, Tony and I became inseparable, and we were always hanging out with each other, whether we were in school, outside of school, whether we were with friends, or just the two of us hanging out and doing whatever guy friends do. Even today, though we don't go to the same college, we are still just as good as friends now as we were back in high school. So what makes Tony worthy of a tribute besides just being a best friend? To answer that, let me begin with a quote that Tony has said to every one of my girlfriends that I've had. He tells them, "I was there before you, and I'll be there after you." And so far, Tony has been right every single time. And I believe this is because, not that I'm terrible with relationships, but with the fact that Tony is the definition of what a best friend should be. He's good and honest, he's supportive, he's stuck with me during the good and bad times of my life, and has always been someone that I can just be there to have a good time with and hang out. To you, and to people that don't know him as well as I do, Tony may seem like an average guy, but to me he's the nicest and the most generous person I've ever had the privilege of meeting, and I will always be in debt to him for the things that he's done for me in just this short period of my life. Tony and I have never been in a fight, although we do disagree from time to time, but I believe it's because we both have each other's best interests in mind. I've never had an actual brother, but I consider Tony to be closer than a brother, and from what I can gather, he feels the same towards me. When others have abandoned me, Tony has remained by my side. When others have put me down, he's been there to pick me up. He's been with me through more circumstances than anyone else has, or probably ever will be. Whenever I have needed advice, or someone just to consult me, Tony has been there to give me his advice freely, and tell me what he thinks is best for me. It is for these reasons, and many more, that I do not have time to name, that I give Tony this tribute. I truly owe all I have to this man, and am thankful to where I am in life today because of him. I don't know what your best friend is like, but if he's like mine, then I would consider myself to be a very lucky person.